If you are planning to start an LLC in California this year and want a simple, proven way to do it, this guide is going to walk you through the entire process step by step, specifically using a service called LegalZoom. You'll see exactly what forms to file, what packages are included, and how much the whole process will cost you, as well as what you need to do to stay compliant within California business law so that way your business remains in good standing. Whether you're just getting started or comparing options, this video will help you understand exactly how to launch your business the right way in 2025 inside of California. Here's a couple of reasons why you might want to start an LLC if you're still on the fence about it, especially if you're running a business in California. First of all, forming an LLC protects your personal assets, meaning if your business is ever sued for any reason or potentially owes money, your personal savings, your home, and other assets are legally separated. The second reason is that your LLC gives your business much more credibility with customers, banks, and partners since it shows that you're legally established. The third reason is that it offers tax flexibility, allowing you to choose how you want to be taxed, either as a sole proprietor, a partnership, or even a corporation, depending, of course, on what benefits your business the most. And having a formal LLC helps you stay compliant with state requirements while positioning you for long-term growth. On top of that, starting an LLC also gives you full control over how your business is managed without the complexity of a corporation. You can operate it alone or with partners, set your own rules in the operating agreement, and scale the business at your own pace. If you're planning to open a business bank account, work with vendors, or bring on clients under a business name, having an LLC makes that process so much smoother and, of course, more professional. It also makes you eligible for certain business grants, loans, and even tax deductions that aren't available to individuals operating without a formalized structure. So overall, if you're still on the fence about making an LLC, I'd highly recommend doing so, as it just makes your entire process of operating a business so much easier and more efficient. But with that out of the way, let's actually show you how to get this done. Starting an LLC in California can, of course, feel a little bit overwhelming, especially with all the paperwork, fees, and legal requirements if you're doing it completely on your own. But using LegalZoom makes this process so much easier and, of course, straightforward. I personally run my own LLC inside of LegalZoom because I like the services they offer, and it just makes it so much easier to actually focus on the things that matter inside of my business, so that way LegalZoom can take care of the complicated requirements, compliance orders, and anything else I need to deal with. In this video, I've broken this down step by step so that way you know exactly what to expect, what decisions to make, and how to avoid any common mistakes in the process. Now, LegalZoom offers a very easy, streamlined platform that handles the filings, name checks, and essential documents completely for you, which is going to save you hours of time as far as admin work is concerned. The first step in getting started with your LLC is using the link down in the description for LegalZoom. Make sure you use that link and follow along with me inside of this video so you don't make any mistakes, and of course, don't skip any of the steps in this video, otherwise your LLC might not get formed properly. Now, once you guys click that link, you should be brought to a page that looks something like this. As you can see, you can start your LLC for as low as $0 plus any of your state filing fees. You'll simply hit the orange Start My Business button, which will then take you to their pricing page. As you can see, there is a pro option and a premium option. We're going to go ahead and start with the basic option. We're going to click the orange Form My LLC button, which will take us to this first step of setting up our LLC, which is choosing a name for our business. Now, this name has to be unique according to California's business name rules. Your name must include limited liability company or abbreviations like L.L.C. or LLC, and it can't be too similar to an existing business in the state. You can search nameability if you're not sure what name to go with, or if you're not sure what names are available, you can use a tool like California's Business Entity Search Tool, or even better, you can just let LegalZoom handle this for you inside of their basic package. They'll actually look and make sure that your name is available, so that way you don't end up using a name that is already taken by a different business in the marketplace. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and just name this Test Super Cool Business. And as you can see, they actually add the LLC for you, so you don't have to do that yourself. Once this all looks good, I'll hit the next button, which will then take me to actually the next question, which where is my LLC going to be located? As you can see, in this specific instance, we're going to be doing it in California. I'll hit the next button here, and then we'll add who our primary contact will will be. Now, it's important here that you actually include an email that you're easily reachable by, and of course, include an active email that is just relevant to your business, as well as, of course, your phone number. Now, these are completely optional. You can skip this part, so I wouldn't worry too much about this if you feel stressed out by it. Once you hit the next part, we'll then be asked the next important question, which is our industry. Now, as far as industry is concerned, there's a bunch of different choices that we can choose from. And of course, if you don't see your industry currently listed here, you can add a new one by clicking on this Add New button. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to just scroll up here and pick a very commonly actually chosen industry, which is going to be e-commerce, as you can see right here. I'll click on the e-commerce button and then I'll hit the next button. As you can see, the next thing here is let's keep your LLC compliant to avoid setbacks. As you can see, they can either do our compliance filings and our essential document filings for us by hitting the next button here. And just like that, meet your state legal obligation with required ongoing filings. We'll have to select a pricing plan here. Once again, you can do all of this completely on your own. You don't have to rely on LegalZoom to do any of this for you. It just is going to take up more time and administrative work. And if you mess something up, it's going to be much more on your part to make that mistake rather than their part for fixing it. So just kind of keep that in mind in this whole process. If this all looks good, you'll go ahead and just say no thanks. And then as you can see, it'll take us to the pricing page where we can see what we can choose from. I would recommend, if I was you, going with one of these. My personal LLC, I went with the operating agreement plus the EIN, just so that way I had everything I possibly needed to get started with my LLC, and I didn't have to worry about any of the headaches that sometimes come with filing this paperwork or just with keeping everything organized. Once I've decided which of these I want to go with, you can either hit the select button or just say no thanks for now, which will take us to the next step. They'll ask us about creating our own personal bank account. You can do this if you don't already have a business bank account that you're planning on making with a different bank branch. This could be a nice way to earn some extra money on top of this by making a quick bank account in this whole process. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and say no thanks, which will then take us to a few more enhancements for our order. We can actually expedite this entire process by paying about a $99 fee and get this done even quicker, or we can go ahead and go with the standard 5 to 14 day standard processing, and instead of the founder kit, we can just say no thanks, since most of this stuff we could probably generate ourselves and create it for ourselves. Once this all looks good, you'll then hit the next button here, which will take us to our package assembly portion. As you can see, this is where we're pretty much almost done getting our LLC fully kitted out and ready to go. If you have a promo code, you can enter it here, and other than that, this is pretty much it. As you can see, the only thing we're paying today is the California filing fee for an LLC. Once this all looks good for us, we'll hit the continue to checkout button, which will then take us to this page where we can enter in all of our shipping address, our payment details, and agree and pay now. And once you've done that, you've officially started the process of filing your LLC with California. Now, one of the things you want to keep in mind here is that you really want to focus on having a registered agent appointed inside of your LLC. This is basically a person or a service responsible for receiving legal and official documents on behalf of your business. According to California law, this does require you that you have a registered agent to have a physical address inside of the state that you do business in. This can either be yourself or someone you trust, or which is probably the recommended option I'd go with, is a professional service. LegalZoom offers to act as your registered agent as part of all of their packages, even the free one, which is a great option if you want privacy or if you just don't have a reliable contact in California. Selecting LegalZoom for this role ensures that you stay compliant and you never miss an important notice that you might have to deal with, especially as your business begins to grow. After your registered agent is selected, the next step here is filing the Articles of Organization with the California Secretary of State, which basically officially forms your LLC. This document includes your business name, address, and registered agent details, as well as a few other basic info items. The filing fee for this is $70 as of 2025. Which, as you can see inside of LegalZoom, they take care of. California requires all submissions to be filed online. Mail filings, unfortunately, are no longer accepted, which might be a little bit easier because, come to think of it, I feel like I would rather do everything online at this point than mail anything. LegalZoom also handles this entire process completely for you, ensuring your documents are correctly filled out and submitted without any delays in the process. Once approved, which usually takes about 8 business days, your LLC becomes a legally recognized entity within the state state of California. After your articles of organization are filed, the next critical step here is creating an operating agreement. In California, this document is legally required for any and all LLCs, including single member entities. Although it doesn't need to be filed with the state, it's essential to keep it with your business records. The operating agreement outlines how your LLC will be managed, how profits and losses are distributed, and of course the procedures for adding or removing members to the LLC. One of the nice parts about LegalZoom is that their Pro package and their Premium packages include a customizable operating agreement, which simplifies this entire process. By using their service, you're going to ensure that your agreement meets California's legal requirements and, more importantly, is tailored to your business's specific needs. Once completed, all members should sign the agreement and of course retain a copy for their records. Once your operating agreement is in place, the next step here is to get an employer identification number, or an EIN for short, which is required if you plan to hire employees, open a business bank account, or more importantly, file federal taxes. It's really easy to get an EIN completely for free for yourself. It only takes about 15 minutes to do it on the IRS website. But if you don't want to go through the headache of that and actually just want to skip the paperwork and get it immediately the second you make your LLC, I'd recommend going with something like LegalZoom's Pro or Premium package, which will come with that EIN as part of their service. Either way, make sure that this step is completed right after your LLC is approved, because of course you won't be able to open a business checking account or move forward with certain filings without that approval. Also, of course, not to get your EIN before your approval, as this can mess things up if your LLC doesn't get approved for some reason. Make sure, of course, to do it after your LLC gets approved. Now, within 90 days of forming your LLC, California requires you to file a statement of information, which updates the state of your business's key details like address, management structure, and even registered agent. This filing costs about $20 and must be renewed every 2 years after that. It's a simple step, but one that really can't be skipped here. Failing to file on time can result in penalties to your LLC, or even ultimately falling out of good standing altogether, which is super not good for your LLC and could potentially mean that you're not protected by the limited liability company protection that comes with that designation. LegalZoom might also not include this in their basic package, so you'll likely need to handle it completely yourself, unless of course you upgrade to one of their higher plans. Make sure to set a reminder to complete this as soon as your LLC is approved to stay fully compliant from the get-go. After your statement of information is filed, you'll need to prepare for California's annual $800 franchise tax, which applies to LLCs regardless of your income. This payment is due 4.5 months after your LLC is formed, and then every year by April 15th moving forward. If your business earns over $250,000 in a year, you may also owe an additional estimated fee based on this total revenue. This tax, of course, though, is paid directly to the California Franchise Tax Board, and it's not included in any of the LegalZoom packages. So it's something you'll need to plan for separately, even if your business doesn't generate profit right away. Paying this on time is essential to avoid late fees or suspension. At this point, your LLC is officially legally formed and compliant, but there's still a few optional steps that can streamline your operation. If you want to separate your personal and business finances, opening a business bank account is pretty much essential here. And of course, most banks will require your articles of organization, your EIN, and possibly your operating agreement, depending of course on your industry. LegalZoom's Pro and Premium plans also come with access to legal forms, e-signatures, and even basic bookkeeping tools, which can save you time if you're just getting started and want to keep everything organized from day one. LegalZoom also offers 3 main packages to choose from: a basic, Pro, and Premium plan, each designed to fit different levels of business support. The basic package costs $0 plus state filing fees and includes your articles of organization and an name check, making it a good choice if you want to handle most of these steps completely on your own. The Pro package is about $249 plus state fees and adds essentials like an operating agreement and access to bookkeeping tools, as well as legal forms. The Premium package at about $299 plus fees includes everything in the Pro plus attorney consultations, as well as formation document changes within 30 days. If you're starting with a limited budget, the basic plan is more than enough to get your LLC filed. But if you want more structure, legal protection, and done-for-you services, Pro or Premium can save time and reduce mistakes that you make. In total, if you go with LegalZoom's basic plan, it should cost you no more than $90 to $70 specifically for everything that you'll need for your LLC. If you guys have questions about this process, make sure to comment them down in the comment section. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss any of our future videos. And I can't wait to see you guys in anything that we make in the future. Good luck out there, and I can't wait to see what kind of businesses you guys end up creating.